Hey kids, Singletine here with another read and review. Now if you haven't seen one of these, it's very simple. The entire comic book is here. And if you want to check it out and read the book before you hear the review, play the video with the sound down. Then after you read the book yourself, come on back and see what I have to say about it. Now that may sound like I'm promoting everybody watching the video twice for more views, and yes, you're absolutely right about that, but this is also my way of telling you that, hey, there's spoilers ahead, so be careful if you don't want any spoilers. Latte check, clear mind check, world-ending disasters on hold, at bay, or handled by someone else. Check. Time to do something for me. Hey guys, I'm Bobby, and I'm gay. I haven't always been gay. I've been around for 50 years, and for most of that time, I was quite a ladies' man. As a matter of fact, one time, I was on an adventure to save my girlfriend, and ended up almost wiping myself out of existence. Now, I think it's funny because if you look at that particular selfie of me, it's hard to believe that I was ever straight. But I was, and this is where it gets strange. I was straight right up until the point where my younger self, there's actually a time-displaced version of me from the past who actually had a very serious conversation with a very powerful telepath named Jean Grey, and she convinced him that he was gay. More odd than that is, part of that conversation, he even mentioned that they met me and I wasn't, yet here we are. I'm on a gay dating site and I'm trying to look for somebody to hook up with. And let's not even begin to think that a powerful telepath convinced that young man that he was gay. I guess the message that she wanted to share is conversion therapy works. It's just not as acceptable going one way as it is going the other. So here I am, formerly straight Bobby Drake, now gay, on a website, asking you guys to accept me. And the way I'm gonna do that is steer into the skid, baby, starting off with an awesome profile picture. Just look at this. I even got some of my villain friends to participate. It's amazing that they even sent in a photo. Yeah, let's talk about the star first, though. That's me, that's Iceman, Bobby Drake. And I've decided to go with Iceman swishy hips. Yeah, you'll never find another photo of this before of me in any kind of pose like that. But since coming out as gay, I figured, like I said, steer into the skid. Be as gay as freaking possible. Just because this is the way some straight people see gay people, and it's the only way we could possibly act or even convey our homosexuality. There's no way a gay person would be in a normal pose. No, guys, to accept me is to accept Iceman swishy hips. And even with that, at least I'm not the most flamboyant person in the photo. My former professor's half-brother, Juggernaut, he's got eyeliner on, so, you know, he's playing the game. I can't believe he sent me that photo. And let's not even talk about Magneto or Apocalypse. Who would have thought that Magneto or Apocalypse would have sent tarted up? It looks like they're going to a gay club. I love it. Magneto with a salt and pepper mustache beard thing going. That is awesome. That is just beautiful. And don't even get me started on Mr. Sinister. He looks like he is going to be auditioning for Ziggy Stardust in the David Bowie biopic. And no surprise, the most masculine person in the photo is the woman Mystique. But enough about my profile picture. Let me tell you something about what happened to me recently. Now, I told you I'm an X-Men. I'm one of the original, actually. And I also told you that there is a younger version of me, a time-displaced me, and sometimes, well, we train together. A lot of times a younger homosexual man will look up to an older man for guidance of some sort. There was a whole to-do about it with some internet guy recently, and Sulu from Star Trek said, some people think it's creepy, but it can't be creepy if you're doing it with yourself, right? I'm just kidding. We were doing X-Men training, and I was teaching him how to use his powers and getting him to activate powers he didn't even know he had, and he kept declaring I was telling dad jokes. I've got to admit, it does make me feel a little wonky that my younger self is referring to me as a dad. I understand a need for a time-displaced youth to have a father figure. I just don't think it should be an older version of himself. Especially a single one who's finally coming to the terms with the fact that if he's gay, then I must be gay. Well, anyway, after our training session, I gave him a few pointers and met his boyfriend. Seemed like a good kid. He made another reference of me being a dad, and I shook that one off too. I've got to talk to him about this sometime. And as my younger self and his boyfriend walked away, I got an urgent message. And it was from my parents, and my dad had a heart attack of some sorts. She says, don't worry about it, but you can't ignore that kind of thing. So I rushed to get to them. Now, my parents have never really come to grips with the fact that I am a mutant. So I do not have any idea how I'm going to tell them that after all of this time in dating women, I decided since my younger self is gay, that has to mean that I'm gay also. And that is one more thing they're going to have to accept about me. The funny thing is, the time with my parents is actually bittersweet because you can tell there's an underlying tension anytime we're together, yet the love still shines through in the way we talk to each other and the way we act around each other. Yet it also can be tense, especially I did make a mistake by missing my mother's birthday, and we talked about getting her a gift and such, and I will in the future. And while I don't know how I'm going to tell my parents about everything that's happened recently, I thought I would have to right there on the spot, but then something happened. A purifier chased a mutant he's trying to kill not only into the same hospital I was in, but into the same hallway. I mean, what are the odds of something that ridiculously coincidental happening ever in life? Of course, instead of shooting him and icing him up while he's not looking and he's not paying attention to me, I decide to grandstand a little bit, give him the old one-liner, of course, because I am the funny X-Men. And I find out that he's not a real purifier. This was his audition. Killing this young girl was going to be his audition, and he was happy as a clam that now he could take on a real X-Men. But wouldn't you know it, great coinkadink number 2 is the suit he was wearing was designed to deal with my superpowers specifically. I mean, what are the odds about that? You would think that a guy chasing somebody into the same hallway as me is bad, but that is a huge coincidence also. But you know, people in hate groups, whether it's BLM, KKK, BAM, or Antifa, they all think themselves righteous, and in that righteousness, they usually make mistakes. And this guy was no different, making a mistake I was easily and happily able to exploit, ending up knocking him out and freezing him over. After that, I got to meet the young lady he was chasing, and get this, you know what her mutant superpower was? Her spit solidified. She could make objects with it. It was so weird, so cool, and I told her that she shouldn't feel bad about her superpower because you never know what you could do with it. In the beginning, all I could do was throw ice balls, little slushies at people. But now some people call me an Omega level mutant. That is at the tip top of power levels. So I went back to see my parents again, and my mother correctly assumed that the police will be in and it'll be too much stress for my father, so she asked me to leave. Like I told you, it was a bittersweet meeting. They'll never accept me as a mutant, and I doubt they would accept me as gay, but I love them still. And I could tell that deep down somewhere they love me. So while I tell them I'll maybe see the new house that they bought, I know that it will be a while before I'll be back. But that's just part of the sadness of being a mutant and a crime fighter. But hey, at least I did thousands of dollars worth of damage to a hospital and got away with it. And there you go, guys. That's a day in my life to give you an idea of who I am now. And to tell you the truth, the day was not nearly as bad as some people said that it was going to be. Nor was it great. I guess I'm skirting a line here because if I act too gay, then it's just going to turn off the people who knew me before and have never seen me act that way before. However, if I just act like myself and this is just one more element of who I am, then perhaps I'll get the acceptance that I feel that I deserve. And let's face it, I didn't tell the strongest of stories. There were definitely problems. There was a fight scene that seemed like it was out of place, but it really happened there. And it seemed like I was pandering when all I really wanted to do was to change things up. And I understand all that, but hey, at least I looked good doing it. So there you go, guys. That's me. What did you think? What do you think? Let me know. Write something in the comments below. Tell me if you liked my story or not. Tell me if you will ever accept me, for being gay, the new lifestyle I have. Put that in the comments also. And if you really do like me, then hit subscribe so we can talk. Don't forget to hit the bell notification either so you get all the messages. And, you know, thank you very, very much for watching.